Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Man United Central, and I'm your boy Luther. I'm super excited that you're back here to get your update when it comes to our Manchester United. That being said, let's jump into it. We have a jump-packed show like always, but today we're going to be talking about the situation with David De Gea, and we're going to look into what is happening when it comes to the whole takeover, and we'll also dive into see if we have any transfer situation going on, right? All right, so let's start with the David De Gea situation. Okay, so basically the David De Gea saga, because I'm going to call it, because United, we always find ways to mess things up, right? David De Gea is a club legend, right? He should be treated as such, right? Because in the past we've treated some of our legends the same way under Herrera, and now we're doing it with him. We also did the same with I believe the goalkeeper, Sergio somebody, what's his name? Sergio. Yeah, the way we treat our legends is unacceptable. Once they get to that end of our, not necessary contract, when they're getting that stage where they need to leave. We did the same thing with Van Persie. We don't know how to treat legends properly. But the story goes like this. So basically, Manchester United, we gave De Gea a contract, right? A contract at a reduced wages, because De Gea's wages were like $375,000 a week, which is a lot. He was one of the highest paid players at the team, and one of the highest paid goalkeepers, I think probably the highest, right? So we gave him a contract at reduced wages, and these wages were like maybe $200,000 a week, right? So we gave him this contract. He was, he mulled it over, he looked at it, all right, and then De Gea actually signed that contract because his family loves Manchester. He has been there for over 10 years, I think. So he's not ready to leave. So he was willing to say, you know what, I'll take a pay cut and stay at Manchester, right? Now, the flip side is this, right? Even though he signed the contract, right, United, and it falls down to our coach, Ten Hag, decided, you know what, 200 is too much for him, right? He pulled the contract, because the way it usually works is this: the team can offer a contract, but also the coach has a chance to veto a deal, right? That way the team doesn't force a certain player on a coach, right? So Ten Hag apparently, grabbed the contract and tore it up. He said, look, no, I don't want to pay De Gea $200,000 because the way that Ten Hag thinks of De Gea is he doesn't believe De Gea is going to be his number one. So obviously we know Ten Hag is trying to bring in a new goalkeeper, right? And there's been talks about Onana and David Raya or Costa, that's what he's trying to do. So he knows he's going to bring in another goalkeeper, but he does not want to pay that much for De Gea. So what does he do? The last minute, after this guy already signed it, we went ahead and said, okay, we're going to give you now another contract, right? He already signed the 201. We tore it up, and then we came back. So you know what, David De Gea? Yeah, you're probably worth like 140, 170 range, right? Even that amount, 140, 170 for a goalkeeper, that price is still high. It's good money, right? It's good money, but you had already offered him 200. Now you're going to come back and give him this kind of money. Now it is lower. Now in the goalkeeping world, in the Premier League or around the world, a goalkeeper that gets paid that much is not going to be a second choice goalkeeper. Usually, if you pay that much, he's your starter, right? So even with that, paying him that much money, and for him not being your number one goalkeeper, is still crazy, right? So I think what Ten Hag and Man United are trying to do here is they're trying to do certain things to force him out the door. But I mean, why do that, right? This man has served you for over 10 years. Last season, he earned his Golden Glove. We could have just simply, after the last game, we could have talked to him back then and say, hey, David, you know what, we're looking to go a different direction. I like my goalkeepers to play a certain way, so I'm going to look to bring in another goalkeeper, right? So please make sure, this game you can say your goodbyes and all this stuff. But we didn't. We kind of strung him along, make him feel like, we want him to stay, right? And what I think what is happening is with Ten Hag, knowing that he didn't have that much funds to spend, he was like, I'm kind of keeping David De Gea in the back pocket just in case, we are not able to secure another goalkeeper, right? Which is wrong, because you don't want to treat a club legend like that, right? Which is pretty messed up. And I know David De Gea had offers from Saudi Arabia, like everybody's going to Saudi Arabia. He had offers going there, and he considered them. He didn't go through with them because you're like, look, I'll stay in Manchester. Yeah, I can stay as a number 2. That's fine, because remember that the interview Ten Hag did. He said, look, I talked to all these players, and I told De Gea, look, I'm not gonna, if you stay, I'm not gonna guarantee you as you're gonna be my number 1. So obviously, De Gea kind of knows the deal, so he was willing to work with that. And now we pull this. It is really unacceptable. He deserves better. And for that, I'm thinking for sure De Gea will be leaving. Personally, yes, I wouldn't mind him leaving, because you gotta go. We gotta have some kind of dignity, right? So if he leaves, that's fine. It looks like we're well with the Onana deal, and it looks like Onana, if everything goes well, because I think I saw something. Some of his representatives were in Manchester to see how they can finalize the deal for him to move up. As I mentioned yesterday, Inter's already kind of eyed out who can replace him at Inter, right? So it looks like the way I'm seeing it is Onana could be our number 1 come next season. It's not going to be a bad thing. You guys need to pull up some of his clips. This guy is really good with his feet, right? So that is all about the hair. Now let's pivot to something else to do with the whole takeover situation. Do we have any updates, right? So far, up to this point, really, it's still quiet in the quiet from the Glazers. We still haven't heard anything new as of today. Benzinga, this is a publication here in the United States. They had mentioned that Sheikh Jassim is in the lead to be announced as a preferred bidder, and this was supposed to be happening. They may say something today, because today Manchester United were releasing some financials when it comes to how they're performing, what revenue and all this stuff, right? So there was some news out there, like before this news comes out about the financials, Man United would have notified one of the bidders. If it's Sheikh Jassim or Sir Jim, one of them would know something, right? Up to this point, it's radio silence, but all roads point to Sheikh Jassim as being the preferred bidder. But again, the Glazers are dragging their feet. I was reading another article today. It looks like people are saying that the Glazers are probably doing this as just to as a payback to all the fans and how they were treated as owners of Manchester United. I mean, yes, they were treated like crap because they didn't do anything to raise the value of the team. They just took money out, right? They didn't invest any money. Infrastructure is terrible. They didn't invest in the team. I mean, they didn't do nothing. So this is their way to say, hey, I'm paying you guys back. I'm going to drag this thing along. I know you guys want your transfers to come in because, this is the time, the transfer is open. I know you want to make some move, bring in some new players. The Glazers don't care. They didn't care about the team. They didn't care about the fans. They didn't care about anybody, right? They're a complete disgrace of owners, because compared to other owners like Mike Ashley from Newcastle, at least when he sold the team, He made sure there's no debt. I'm seeing on the financials that were released today, United or something like that in debt, like crazy debt, right? So that's what the Glazers were doing, just taking money out. But on the flip side is, on the finances, it says that Manchester United is basically today they were making big way. They are actually projecting a record annual revenue of up to 640 million for the current fiscal year, right? Basically, the Glazer family are considering offers for obviously potential buyers, but today they released that they are projected to make revenue, record revenue, because of course we secured the Champions League. Whenever you secure Champions League, you get some money. We won the Carabao Cup, that gives you some money, and record. Also, we had record attendance with ticket purchases. So basically, the team is in the upwards projection, right? And the Glazers are seeing this, and I think they want a piece of this, right? But again, so today there was a protest that went on at the Manchester United mega store because we released our new kit. I personally love the kit, man. Have you guys seen the kit? I'll find a picture and post it and check it out, because the kit looks beautiful, right? So people were protesting against the outside the mega store, so people were not able to go in to purchase the jerseys, because all the protest was over, obviously, stating Glazers out, right? Now, I mean, we need to get these guys out because enough is enough, right? Now, at this point, guys, do me a favor. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to hit the like, make sure to share. If you have Twitter, WhatsApp, or anything like that, share the video, and that way more people can enjoy this content, right? And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Let's move on. All right, so now we're going to move on to other news. We're talking about when it comes to transfer. Now we're going to talk about Mr. Harry Kane. So it looks like Harry Kane, I'm reading here that he has reportedly agreed in principle with German giants Bayern Munich for a summer move, right? So it looks like Harry Kane may be going to has agreed a transfer to Bayern. Now, Spurs have projected initial offer. Bayern Munich's initial offer was 60 million, right? It's pretty crazy because Daniel Levy was trying to sell this guy for 100 million. Now, yes, the reason why I'm reporting this is we, as United, we thought that Daniel Levy is not going to let one of his prized possessions leave, right? Just the fact that he's now willing to, willing to listen to offers like the one that Bayern put in for 60, which was rejected. It kind of opens the door for us to kind of debate with them and try to jump in and see if we can get Harry Kane, right? Obviously, Daniel Levy, he's not going to drop his 100 million price tag, okay, when it comes to selling to his rivals like us. So it's going to be a lot of ramblings that need to go in there to see if we can hash out a deal. But again, I do not see this deal, even if we were to get him, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Dealing with Levy, most likely this thing is going to go on probably until like the second week after we start the season. Just that way he can make sure that, we're kind of held back in a certain way. To me, the perfect scenario will be United to focus on acquiring players that we can, right? Like Rasmus Højlund. We secure him because we're already talking to Atalanta. We secure him, that way we have a striker at the back pocket. We know at least we have one striker, and then we can focus on other positions, right? Because by then, hopefully, by next week or next 2 weeks, we'll have the goalkeeper. So we'll have the goalkeeper and the striker secured, and then we'll see how much money we have and see if we can get somebody else to go, at midfield and, figure out a way then. But at least you'll have something. And of course, if come the season starts and Tottenham wants to play ball, and hopefully by then, who knows, we have Sheikh Jassim on board, maybe he may come in and say, you know what, I'm going to splash some cash, maybe find a way to bring in Kane, right? So who knows? It's going to be interesting. But again, we're here to keep an eye on it, right? Guys, that is all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, notification bell, that way you do not miss any new shows coming out of this channel. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. Peace.